That investigation is now complete. The central findings of the investigation are that the man whose voice is heard on the recording and on a second recording from the same conversation that was released on Sunday, accordingly, effective immediately, I am
Banned just like that. One sentence was all it took, and Brittney Griner, one of the most famous names in WNBA history, was erased overnight. Not suspended, not fined, not even under review. No, Adam Silver dropped the hammer and banned her for life. This wasn't just another press conference. This was the kind of announcement that leaves fans gasping, "What just happened?" And now the whispers are running wild. Did Griner rig games behind the scenes? Was she secretly cozy with referees, tilting calls to her favor? Or could it be something darker? Something so messy the league would rather torch its biggest star than let the truth leak out? People are buzzing about secret tapes, locked away testimonies, and even shocking rumors about her identity that nobody saw coming. This isn't just a scandal. This is an earthquake shaking sports to the core. Picture this scene. Adam Silver storms into an emergency press conference, no warning, no leaks, not a single clue beforehand. He grabs the mic, looks dead at the cameras, and with no hesitation says, "Effective immediately. Brittney Griner is banned from the WNBA for life." No buildup, no explanation, just raw shock. The press room froze, social media erupted, and fans swore the ground shook beneath their feet. This wasn't just any player being punished. This was the face of the league, a living icon, a global brand, and in seconds, she was gone. Griner wasn't just another star. She was the WNBA. Olympic golds, multiple all-star appearances, domination overseas, international fame. She checked every box. For years, she was the poster child of women's basketball, the star little kids put on their vision boards, the player every country wanted on their highlight reel. And now, gone, like she never existed. Silver wasn't joking this time. He came down harder than anyone ever expected. He revealed that the league had been running a secret, deep investigation, and what they uncovered was too massive, too explosive to cover up. We're talking stacked violations, scandal after scandal piling up, off-court chaos spilling over, and whispers tying Griner to a corruption scheme that could destroy the WNBA's image for good. Silver didn't sugarcoat it either. He stared straight into the cameras and dropped the line that's now echoing around the world. There is no place in basketball for actions that compromise the integrity of the game. That one sentence hit like lightning, shaking the entire sports world to its core. So here's the million-dollar question. What did they find? What was so catastrophic, so damaging, that Silver had no choice but to hand down the harshest punishment in league history? This wasn't a single mistake, not even two. It was a mountain of red flags, years in the making, all crashing down at once. And before we break down every jaw-dropping detail of that collapse, let's remember exactly who we're talking about here. Because this isn't just anybody. This is Brittney Griner. Brittney Griner wasn't just part of the WNBA. She was the WNBA, the high-flying dunker, the shot-blocking giant, the fan magnet who turned arenas electric, two-time Olympic champ, global face of women's hoops, walking billboard for the game itself. She was everywhere. Front covers, primetime highlight reels, stacked endorsement deals, Nike campaigns, even running youth camps while repping Team USA across the globe. She was the league's crown jewel, and now she's out. No farewell tour, no thank you video, no jersey retirement. Just blacklisted overnight like she never existed. So how do you fall from being the poster child of women's basketball to being wiped clean from the books? This didn't happen overnight. The smoke had been building for years. Locker room clashes, fiery shouting matches with refs, tension with teammates, skipped protocols, whispers of off-court behavior that had insiders shaking their heads. At first it was just chatter, but then the noise got louder and those whispers stopped being ignored. Here's the wild part. The league still let it slide. Why? Because Griner was money. She sold tickets, boosted ratings, brought eyes from all over the world. As long as she was shining, the WNBA kept cashing in, but eventually the storm got too loud. Headlines turned ugly, scandals piled up, and suddenly, Adam Silver couldn't keep sweeping it under the rug. One brutal decision later, the league slammed the door on one of its biggest stars in history. And trust me, that's just the tip of the iceberg because things are about to get way messier. We're not just talking about drama anymore. Insiders are calling this a full-on corruption scandal. According to whispers from deep inside the league, Griner was allegedly tied to schemes that messed with actual games. Yeah, rigged matchups, refs under pressure, outcomes swinging in ways that didn't add up. Her influence supposedly stretched further than anyone ever realized, and that power didn't stay clean for long. At first, it seemed like nothing. Harmless mid-game chats with refs, locker room tension people brushed off, but then playoff races started looking suspicious. Games felt staged, like the results were being nudged instead of earned. That's when red flags went off like fireworks. Fans called it out, analysts started asking questions, and the league knew it had to dig deeper. So Silver quietly hired private investigators, and what they found turned the WNBA upside down. Refs got suspended, execs lost their jobs, and Griner's name buried everywhere. Her fingerprints were reportedly in emails, her name popping up in text chains, even caught on explosive audio recordings insiders claim would blow the whole league wide open. Suddenly, the whispers weren't just rumors anymore. They were receipts, and that's when it all went public, crashing down in flames for everyone to see. This wasn't just attitude or ego anymore. This was about straight up manipulating the scoreboard. Once you start messing with the outcome of games, you're not just breaking rules, you're shaking the entire foundation of the league itself. Silver wasn't about to let that slide, no matter how big the name attached. Ask yourself this: should any player hold that kind of power over wins and losses? Because if even half of these claims turn out true, it rewrites everything we thought we knew about the sport. The WNBA has always bragged about integrity and pure competition, but now that reputation is hanging by a thread, ready to snap. And here comes the real shocker. If all this chaos was happening right in front of everyone, where was the commissioner? Kathy Engelbert was supposed to be the watchdog, the one guarding the league's image and keeping it clean. Instead, she's standing dead center in the firestorm, and the heat on her has never been hotter. Insiders say Engelbert wasn't blindsided at all, not even close. She allegedly had warnings, complaints, even emails crossing her desk months before Silver stepped in. Red flags were stacking up like a mountain, and still nothing. Some say she was protecting the league's brand, others think she was scared of clashing with Griner's influence. But that silence lit the match and let this blaze burn out of control. Now Engelbert herself is under review, and fans are blasting her online, demanding she step down while Silver's camp scrambles to patch the wreckage. That's how deep this mess went. Silver's office had to hijack the entire disciplinary process. Just think about that. The commissioner was sidelined in her own league because this wasn't just about one superstar gone rogue. This was about a system that allowed corruption to fester unchecked. When leadership chooses PR over accountability, this is the fallout. Scandals, chaos, and the league being forced to clean up the very disaster it helped create. And here's where it gets even crazier. This entire scheme might have stayed buried forever if a few fearless players hadn't finally said, enough is enough. And these weren't no-name rookies. We're talking major stars stepping up. Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, the very women expected to carry the WNBA's future. Sources say they sat in closed-door meetings with investigators and dropped testimony so explosive that people inside the room were left stunned. What they described was bone-chilling. Refs who suddenly looked off, whistles that flipped momentum at picture-perfect times, matchups where Griner's team somehow always came out on top. And here's the wildest part of it. It wasn't just gut feelings or paranoia. They brought receipts. League insiders claim audio clips were played in those sessions, and in one, Griner was allegedly caught straight up talking to referees about pressure points and strategies to tilt the game. That's not banter. That's not trash talk. That's plotting outside the lines to bend the game in her favor. Once Caitlin Clark and the others started pointing fingers and brought receipts to back it up, the walls finally caved in. The star shield shattered, and suddenly the so-called untouchable face of the WNBA look more exposed than ever before. That's what forced Adam Silver's hand. He couldn't ignore it once those testimonies hit the table. But here's the chilling part. If Clark and Sophie Cunningham had stayed quiet, would this lifetime ban have ever happened? Or would the league still be sweeping everything under the rug to protect its golden ticket? That's the question making fans shiver. Griner thought her status would keep her safe, but the second that ban dropped, her camp went into full-blown war mode. Lawyers, PR strategists, spin doctors, media insiders, they all moved like an army overnight. According to sources, her legal team is already preparing an appeal that could be just as explosive as the punishment itself. They're calling Silver's ruling unjustified, excessive, and politically motivated. And they're not just stopping at statements, they're threatening to drag the league into court, demanding access to every page of that secret investigation. Including those recordings, insiders say tie Griner straight to corruption schemes. But here's where it flips. Griner's camp isn't just shouting innocent, they're flipping the whole narrative. They're saying she's a scapegoat, a convenient distraction, while the league hides even bigger scandals bubbling under the surface. They claim she was targeted because she was too outspoken, too powerful in the locker room, and too willing to call out league leadership. Whether people buy that or not, one thing is crystal clear. This saga is nowhere near done. The next round isn't just basketball headlines, it's gonna be played out in courtrooms and on front pages. And let's not sugarcoat it. If this really goes to trial, the dirt that comes out could be nuclear. Insiders are already warning that sealed files, buried emails, and confidential memos could get exposed to the world. So the real question becomes, is Griner being set up as the fall girl to shield even bigger names? Or is this the final chapter of a superstar who finally flew too close to the fire? Either way, the scandal just escalated to a level nobody saw coming. Because here's the wild twist. The rumors didn't just stop at game fixing or locker room politics. Now people are whispering about something much bigger. Whispers of hidden medical records, buried memos, and private files the league supposedly kept under wraps. Insiders claim the WNBA may have been covering up details for years, details so sensitive that if they ever hit the light of day, it wouldn't just blow up one career. It could shake the league's foundation forever. And why would the league ever risk covering things up? Simple. Because Brittney Griner wasn't just another athlete, she was the brand. She dunked, she dominated, she filled arenas to the roof, she moved jerseys like no one else. The WNBA leaned on her image like a crutch, and if that polished story ever cracked, the whole foundation of the league could have come crashing down overnight. But now, with her band splattered across every screen, the whispers have exploded into headlines. And insiders are saying this scandal goes way beyond rigged games or shady refs. Some claim the league was hiding something far bigger, something that could shake women's basketball to its very core. If that's true, this isn't just about bad PR anymore. We're talking about violations of competitive fairness, the kind of mess that could blow up into lawsuits, investigations, and maybe even a full-on Title IX disaster. So the question hangs heavy. Was Griner banned to protect the integrity of the game, or the silent secrets before they detonated in public? We don't have the full truth yet, but the fact that this question even exists has already turned fans, players, and sponsors into skeptics. Step back and take in the bigger picture. This isn't just about one fallen superstar anymore. This is about a league wobbling on the edge of collapse. Sponsors are reportedly panicking. Networks are reevaluating TV deals. And fans, they don't even know who to believe anymore. When your biggest icon gets hit with a lifetime ban and rumors of buried scandals surface at the same time, control of the narrative is gone. Every headline, every leak, every anonymous source just piles more chaos onto the fire. The WNBA's carefully built image is cracking wide open in real time. And it's not just the past being dragged into the spotlight, it's the future too. Think about rookies like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. They entered the league full of energy, ready to carry women's basketball into a new golden era. But instead of hoop dreams, they're stuck inside a soap opera, forced to dodge scandals, whispers, and league drama that never seems to end. And future talent, parents watching all this unfold, are thinking twice, who's gonna want their daughter stepping into this circus? The dream suddenly looks like a nightmare. So here we are, the WNBA shaken to its very core, one of its legends banned for life, its commissioner under review, and the foundation of the league looking unstable like never before. And the craziest part, it still feels like we're only scratching the surface of what's really hiding underneath. This was supposed to be the golden era. Fresh stars lighting up arenas, sold-out crowds, mainstream respect finally within reach. Instead, it's spiraling into one of the biggest scandals the sport has ever seen. And the endgame hasn't even revealed itself yet. And what do we have instead? Corruption, cover-ups, and non-stop chaos. The kind of storm that flips promise into scandal and drags the entire league under the microscope. Now, the basketball world isn't just watching from the sidelines, it's holding its breath, waiting for the next bombshell to explode. So here's the burning question. What will Adam Silver do now? Will more players get dragged into the fire and exposed in this scandal? Could Brittney Griner fight back harder than ever and tear the doors wide open on everything the league's been hiding? And what about the players still stuck inside this mess? Are they even safe if they decide to speak out? These aren't just storylines anymore. These are survival questions, and the answers could rewrite the future of the WNBA forever. One thing's crystal clear. This saga is nowhere near finished. Every leak, every testimony, every anonymous source proves the walls are still crumbling. And the biggest collapse hasn't even hit yet, which leaves us staring at the real mystery. Was this lifetime ban truly about protecting the game? Or was Brittney Griner used as the fall girl to shield something far bigger? Is the league finally being transparent, or has the truth slipped right out of their grip? Now it's your turn. Was the ban justified, or is this the cover-up of the century? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let us know where you stand. And if you want the raw story, not the polished PR spin, smash that like button, hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and share.